Welcome back to the top-down GameMaker adventure tutorial. And I've imported a few sprites here. I think I had them in there earlier. I've got the sprite enemy orc king. I've got the sprite enemy orc. So might do two different enemies with some different speeds or something. But for now, what I'm going to do is we're going to create just the basic enemy orc. And so I'm going to open up and create my object enemy orc, which is going to use sprite, not player archer, sprite enemy orc here. And we're going to go into the create event. So in the create event, we'll add some code, and in here we'll set up the initial variables. So, I mean, it already has things like X and Y and its position and stuff, but we're going to need to set up its move speed. And I'm going to make its move speed equal to 1. And we're going to set up its health. We'll call it enemy health. And we'll call it enemy move speed as well. Enemy health, we'll set that to 10. Actually, we might just set it to 5. And then we will set up the... Oh, what else is it going to need? I think that's probably all it needs for now. That should be good. And we'll click OK. And this is going to be pretty simple here. We're going to go into the add event and add a collision with the fireball. And then when, so lose life. So enemy health minus equals 1. So every time it gets hit by a fireball, it loses 1 health. And with other, instance destroy, so we can destroy that fireball. And then we will check if enemy health is less than or equal to 0, and that should be together there. If enemy health is less than or equal to 0, instance destroy. Now we are going to come back and put in like a little marker to say where it's been destroyed. We'll draw a little grave or something there. But this is destroying itself. This is destroying the bullet. So the bullet always gets destroyed. This one, however, only gets destroyed if its health gets down to 0. We can test this out really easy. Go into the rooms, add in an enemy orc, and I'll hit play. I should be able to fire some fireballs at this guy now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's gone. Okay, so that's not too hard to do. Okay, all of our enemies are going to pretty much be based off of that. They'll have different health bars and so on. We may get around to drawing a health bar, but I'm not too keen on that at the moment. Instead, what we could do is make it so that they change color. We can do a lot of different things in here. So what we want to do now is to start getting this guy moving. Now we might use drag and drop for this, mainly because the code for it can be quite complicated. So I'm going to go the create event here, and I'm just going to go into the move, and we're going to look at this move fixed. Okay, we get 8 directions. And if you click these, what it will do is when it starts, gets created, it's going to pick one of these random directions, or one of these directions here. The move speed, we can type in move speed because we've already declared it in here. So at the start of the game, it's going to pick a random direction and start moving. Pretty easy. I can test this. Okay, move speed not set before reading it. That's because I actually called it enemy move speed, not just move speed. So I click OK. Okay, so he started moving up. That's actually pretty slow, that move speed. So I might change it to 2. And he'll probably move up again just because of the way that the random works in GameMaker. But that's fine. And now we're going to add an event, a collision with the wall. Collision with the wall. When he collides with the wall, there's a few things that we need to do. Actually, we're just going to try one of these. We're just going to try and pick another random direction. Enemy move speed. So pretty much the same block. So when he collides with the wall, he picks a different random direction. I am going to make sure that I throw this in as well and type 32 by 32 here. If you remember from the first video where we checked that the player was snapped to the grid, well now when he collides with the wall, what might happen is that he might move into the wall a little bit. And then if we start picking other random directions to go in, well he may not be aligned to the grid anymore and he'll eventually get off alignment. He won't be moving on the grid, he'll kind of be moving aside from it. It'll look a bit funny. So as long as every time he touches a wall we align him back to a grid and start a random direction, we should be all good. He should be able to move around the room. So whenever he hits a wall, he'll pick a different direction to go in. So he's not a very smart enemy, but he is moving around fairly randomly. That all looks pretty good. I could put a whole bunch of these guys in the room now, and I'm not going to worry about them colliding with each other. Some of them will go outside of the room at this stage. So what I can do is go other, intersect boundary. And when it intersects boundary, I can make them wrap around the screen in both directions. So they'll come on the other side. That's probably not a great fix for it. You see he's coming in the other side now. And I can go through and destroy these guys. And they'll just wander around the room here. So that all seems to work pretty well. Next video, we're going to look at... what are we going to look at? I'm not going to do the pathfinding in here. I would like to look at some more HUD stuff along the top. So, and getting the enemies to actually attack us. So that's going to be the next video, getting the enemies to attack us. And also looking at enemy spawners. So rather than just placing the enemy random in the room, we're going to make it so that these doors are not just tiles anymore, but they're actual spawn blocks that will spawn enemies in the room at a certain rate. So there's a few things that we're going to do in the next video. We'll get these guys attacking and we'll fix our attack, and then we'll look at those enemy spawners after that.